Get ready for your daily dose of WordPress and web development tips, tricks, and insights to help you find success with WordPress. You're listening to WP the Podcast with your hosts, David Blackman and Tim Streifler.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of WP the Podcast, brought to you by WP Gears. I'm Tim Streifler. My co-host David Blackman is not with us today. He'll be back with us soon due to some scheduling conflicts with his travels. We weren't able to get on the same page with recording these episodes, and so he'll be back with us soon. Today's episode, we're going to talk about why I don't accept checks from web design clients. So I only accept online payment through my online invoicing software. So I use FreshBooks. QuickBooks Online is great. 17 Hats is great. Xero is great. Those are all the kind of the big ones. But I use FreshBooks, just what I've used for years, and it's not quite as robust as some of the other ones, but it's just what I've been using. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And so, if I have a client that wants to mail me a check, I say, no, I'm sorry, I only accept paying through the online portal, which is either credit, debit card, or PayPal. Stripe and PayPal is what I use. And so I mentioned this on DiviChat. DiviChat's another podcast that both David and I are involved in, where we talk about Divi and different things around the Divi theme and running a Divi business. So definitely check that out, Divi.chat, or just type in DiviChat into your podcast app or YouTube. So we were talking about that. My colleagues were surprised that I don't even accept checks. And so the bulk of their payments come from check. And so I started doing this the beginning, it was either 2017 or 2018. I think if it was 2017, then the year prior, I was kind of starting to phase them out. And then the beginning of either 2017 or 2018, I just said, I will not accept checks anymore. And so the reasoning behind it is there's a couple things. One, you get paid much faster when you accept payments online. So when you accept payments online, that's the only way to pay you. Then they'll go and they'll pay you right away so that you can get the project started quicker. You can get that final payment to launch the site quicker. So everyone wins. You get paid quicker. They get whatever they want done quicker. You don't have to wait, because typically a business, depending on how big the business, when they write a check, it'll go through a finance person, an accountant, a bookkeeper, accounting department, whatever. And so it takes 5 days to be processed, and then another couple days to get mailed to you. And so it's a time suck. Not only that, but then you have to go and take that check and deposit it, whether you have a mobile deposit or take it to the bank or whatever. Or if you're like me, I don't have my business address the same as my home address. I have a separate mailbox. That means I have to go and drive to the mailbox and pick up the check. I don't want to do that. Client doesn't want to mail it. I don't want to have to go through that. So it's better for everyone. So that's the big thing, is the convenience factor of not having to write a check and mail a check. But also, additionally, now this is more of a U.S. thing, or I guess it's not necessarily exclusive to U.S., but I only have the knowledge as being a U.S. business. But depending on the amount, if you're accepting a check from a client and they're paying you as a contractor, well, then they have to send you a tax form, which means they have to obtain your Social Security or your business EIN number in order to pay you via check, so that they can basically tell the IRS, the tax service in the US, that they paid you, this contractor, with this identification number, X amount of dollars. So they're basically reporting what they paid you to the IRS to make sure that it matches up with what you're reporting as the business owner of your income. And so that the numbers have to match up. All the people that are reporting income they paid you has to match up with the total number of income that you're reporting that you made. And so that's a huge pain in the butt. So not only are you giving out sensitive information to a client and you're not sure how much they're protecting that confidential information, but then you also have to deal with the tax form. So they have to create a tax form for you, mail it to you. You have to take that tax form and put it with when you do your tax documents, submit it with your taxes. And so it creates a lot of headache. And so in my opinion, it's 2019. Every business has a credit debit card, or can pay through PayPal, and so it's better for everyone, because I don't have to go. If a client's paying you, I forgot to explain that part. If they're paying you with a credit or debit card, it's not categorized the same, and so they don't have to report those tax payments. It's basically, I think for them, it's taxed as an expense, not like paying a contractor, which is different. And then you don't have to like individually report that check, because it becomes part of your total income. And the processors, PayPal and Stripe, are required to report the total money that they've processed for you to the IRS, and then you submit to make sure the numbers match. And so it's way easier to do one from PayPal, one from Stripe, and then getting a separate tax document from all your clients. And so it really is a lot easier to only accept online payments through your invoicing software. Not just easier for you, easier for the client. They don't have to write a check. They don't have to send out tax documents. You don't have to take those tax documents and make sure you save them, and then the checks that they pay you, take them to the bank and all of that. So it's just a huge hassle that you get to avoid by only accepting online payments, and you get paid quicker too, which is a huge bonus. You get paid that day that you send it to them, or the next day. You don't have to wait, a week or so to get that check. So that is why I strictly do not accept checks from clients, and I don't plan to change that. Honestly, at this point, if a client said that they could only pay me through check, I probably wouldn't take on the client, just because of the hassle that it creates. And so yeah, hope that makes sense. If you have any questions or comments, or anything you'd like to add to this episode, feel free to leave a comment on WPGears.com for episode 610. And tomorrow we're going to talk about the most optimum way to segment your email marketing lists. Looking forward to that topic. Tune in to tomorrow's episode. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.
We've come to the end of today's episode of WP the Podcast. Join us tomorrow for more daily tips and strategies designed to help you run your WordPress business towards success. Remember to subscribe to WP the Podcast so you can stay up to date with each episode. And don't forget to rate and review us. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on WP the Podcast.